Something is different and she can feel it. She thought pulling away would make you react the way most men do, chasing, proving, apologizing, begging for her attention. That's how it's always worked in the past. Whenever she distanced herself, men gave her what she needed: validation, reassurance, confirmation that they were still emotionally invested. But this time, none of that is happening. And now, for the first time, she's not sure where she stands. She checks her phone expecting to see your name, but it's not there. She scrolls through her social media, waiting for some sign that you're still watching her. But there's nothing. She posts something vague. Maybe a song lyric, maybe a subtle reference to something you both shared, just to see if you'll react. But you don't, and that silence, it's doing something to her mind that she never expected. It's making her rethink everything. Because before she was certain that you cared, certain that she could pull away and still keep you emotionally hooked, certain that no matter what, she could always come back and find you waiting. But now that certainty is gone and in its place doubt. She thought she was in control, but she's starting to realize she may have miscalculated. At first, she tells herself that you're just being stubborn, that you're trying to play your own game. But the more time that passes without a reaction from you, the more her confidence starts to break down. And the worst part, it's not just about missing you anymore. It's about the fear that you've actually changed, that you're not just ignoring her, you're detaching from her completely. And that thought, that's what starts to haunt her. Because now, every time she expects to feel a sense of control over the situation, she's met with the opposite feeling: uncertainty. She's no longer sure if she still has you. She's no longer sure if you even care. She's no longer sure if she can get you back. And that's what's making her restless. Because while she once believed she had the power to decide when and how this connection ended, now she's realizing that power was never truly hers to begin with. When the doubt turns into an obsession, she keeps trying to ignore it, to shake the feeling, to convince herself that she's fine. But she's not. The silence was supposed to be her advantage, but now it's her enemy. It follows her around in ways she never expected. It lingers in the moments when she's alone, in the way she catches herself checking for signs of you without even realizing it. She never planned for this. She thought ignoring you would put you in your place, that the lack of attention would leave you desperate, overthinking, waiting for her to return, that eventually you would crack under the pressure, reach out and remind her that she still holds power over you. But that's not happening. Instead, you're doing nothing, and that's what's driving her insane. She expected to see frustration from you, a double text, a long emotional message, anything that would confirm that you're still affected by her distance. But instead, you're quiet. You're calm, you're moving forward without hesitation. And now she's the one stuck in her head. Because if you're not reacting, then what does that mean? Does it mean you've actually let go? Does it mean she never mattered to you the way she thought? Does it mean she lost something she can't get back? These are the thoughts that won't let her rest. The same silence she once used to test you is now testing her. And she's failing, because while you continue living your life unbothered, unaffected, detached, she's the one who's stuck thinking about you. And every time she realizes that you haven't broken yet, the obsession grows stronger. She starts questioning herself in ways she never has before. She wonders if she misread your intentions from the beginning, if she underestimated your value, if she was the one who got played without even realizing it. And that thought eats away at her, because in her mind, this wasn't supposed to happen. She was supposed to be the one in control, the one who dictated how things ended, the one who decided when and if you would reconnect. But now, Now she feels like she's the one who got left behind. And that's a reality she refuses to accept. Because if she accepts that you've moved on, that you've reprogrammed yourself to no longer need her, that you've detached in a way that she never expected, then she has to admit something much worse, that she made the wrong choice, and her pride won't let her do that. Not yet, so instead, she keeps watching, waiting, and overanalyzing, hoping for a sign that she still has a chance, but the longer she waits, the clearer it becomes. She's already lost control, and now the only thing left to do is figure out how to get it back. The urge to pull you back in, she's losing control and she knows it. The uncertainty is eating away at her, making her restless, making her feel something she never thought she'd feel about you: panic. She's trying to fight it, trying to tell herself that she still has time, that she's still the one in control. But no matter how much she distracts herself, nothing feels right. It's not just about missing you anymore. It's about the fear of becoming irrelevant. She wonders if you've already replaced her. She wonders if you even think about her at all. She wonders if she's losing something she took for granted. And that's when she realizes she can't just sit back and wait anymore. If she waits too long, you'll slip away completely. And that's something she's not willing to risk. But here's the problem. She doesn't know how to approach you. Now she can't just come back like nothing happened. She can't just suddenly care again after acting distant for so long. So she has to test the waters. She starts with something small, a random message disguised as casual. A reaction to your post, just enough to see if you'll notice. A question she already knows the answer to, just to get you talking. She wants to see if you'll give her the response she needs. Because if you jump at the chance to talk again, if you act like you've been waiting for this moment, then she wins. She gets her confirmation. She gets her validation. She gets her power back. But if you don't, if you remain neutral, detached, or worse, uninterested, that's when the real emotional shift begins. Because that means she's truly lost the control she once had over you. And that's a reality she isn't ready to accept. So now she has to decide, does she keep trying, or does she walk away for good? And that decision, it's not as easy as she thought it would be. The moment she feels powerless to fix it, her first attempt didn't go as planned. She thought reaching out would be enough, that a simple message, a subtle gesture, just the slightest hint of interest would trigger a response from you, that you'd see it, react, and give her the reassurance she desperately needed. But something is different. You're not responding the way she expected. You're not chasing, you're not reacting emotionally. And now she's completely thrown off. This wasn't supposed to be difficult. She thought you'd be waiting for this, that you'd be so eager to have her back, that you wouldn't even question it. But instead you're indifferent, and that indifference stings more than she ever imagined, because it means something she never wanted to believe. She doesn't have the same power over you anymore. At first she brushes it off. She tells herself, maybe you're just playing hard to get that. You're holding back, trying to make her chase a little before you fully give in. But the longer this continues, the more she starts to feel something she hasn't felt before. Powerless for the first time. She doesn't know how to fix this. She can't just drop breadcrumbs and expect you to follow them anymore. She can't just pull back and wait for you to react. She can't just assume she has unlimited access to your emotions. And the worst part, she's realizing that she may have miscalculated everything. She thought she could take her time, explore her options, pull away and return at her convenience. But now she's wondering if she actually pushed too far. Because if you're not fighting to keep her, not rushing to prove your worth, not desperate for another chance, then what does that mean? It means she lost her grip on you. It means you're slipping further and further away. And the second she realizes that, Panic sets in because the idea of losing. You wasn't supposed to feel this real. She wasn't supposed to be the one wondering what went wrong. She wasn't supposed to be the one regretting her decisions. But now that's exactly where she finds herself. And as much as she hates to admit it, she has no idea what to do next. If this opened your eyes, watch the next video on your screen. The moment you stop chasing, you shift everything in your favor. Don't miss what happens next.